Hey, welcome back to the Gratu Orloff television program. It's episode 534. We were rudely interrupted in our last episode, and we're here in Mount Gratu, Kentucky, organizing comic books once again. It's episode 534. I think I already told you that. And it's May the June. How about June 27th, 2024 AD. 2022, possibly it's 2022. I hear 2024 a lot, so I figure it's 2024. But it's mainly people talking about the next election. Yes, 2024 indeed. But we're here organizing comic books. And, yeah, this is the third episode I've worn this shirt. Isn't that amazing? Well, let's see what shit we've got here. From the dollar bin, we've got Lost in Space, which is a revival of, well, there never was a Lost in Space comic book until this, I guess. In the 60s, there was a comic called Space Family Robinson, and I don't remember exactly how it went down, but it was about the Robinson family being lost in space, and I don't know if it was just supposed to be a coincidence that Irwin Allen just had the same idea of doing a show called Space Family Robinson or Lost in Space, but anyway, so he made the Lost in Space show that we know, and then the comic book from Gold Key kept being published. I don't know if they paid off people or not. The comic book, they didn't have the same names. They didn't have the robot. Dr. Smith wasn't there. It was very different, but the thing that was the same was a family named Robinson lost in space, based on Swiss Family Robinson. Anyway, usually Gold Key would get the license to do TV shows, and they did for all the other Irwin Allen shows, like Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and Time Tunnel and all that, but for Land of the Giants. But for Lost in Space, they just kept on publishing their regular comic, which they changed to Lost in Space, and then when kids picked it up, it was printed even into the 70s. I thought, well, this isn't like the TV show, and it just promoted confusion. But anyway, this comic came out in the 90s, I guess, and this was, at the time I didn't pick it up because it just it looked like something I loved from my childhood that they were just adding lots of tits and ass to, and which is actually what it is. But people recommended it to me on the Four Color Fossils show, so I picked up some copies. This is, see what I mean? I mean, you didn't really see their clothes being ripped off or them showering much in the original show, but you do in this comic. So anyway, I've yet to read. I picked up some copies, so I'm filing some of these comics that are neither Marvel or DC. They are independent, indie comics. Some idiots call them indie comics, So let's get Lost in Space #1 filed in here. Yeah. Oh, it'll be in this box. Yeah. This comic, Liberty Meadows. It's another TNA comic, but this guy's a very good girl artist. Frank Cho. Yes, indeed. Lost in Space. Okay. Well, apparently I have 2 copies of Lost in Space from the dollar bin. And then I have Lost in Space 12. And then I have Lost in Space Annual, where Billy Mooney actually co-wrote the script with Peter David. I've heard people talk about Peter David. Apparently he did a run on Thor that people love. I don't know. Maybe it's something I read. The last thing I really remember in Thor was the era with Beta Ray Bill and all that. And then I discovered just really in the last few months that there was an era after that where this artist named what was his name? Some artist that aped Jack Kirby really well, enough that it was cool to me. Ron Friends, I think is his name. And so I started picking up a lot of Thors from that era, even though it's the 1990s, which is an era I normally turn up my snobbish nose at. I started buying a lot of those Ron Friends because it just looked nostalgic for me. All right, here's Nexus. This Steve Rude was an excellent artist. I don't have many copies of Nexus because I didn't get in at the beginning. It's just beautiful art. I don't know much about it. It's something I'd like to learn about. Maybe I could get Nexus in a collected version. I don't know. But I only have a few copies, and it's just something that... Here's another one I've got where he teams up with Madman. That's Madman is another comic I should have a lot more copies of. I do recommend Mr. Monster. Drew is really... What are you up to, Drew? Here's a collection of Sheena. And then this is back in the 90s. Good Girl art was real big then. That's a Dave Stevens cover. I have that Sheena 3D. It's not in this box, but this is reprints in black and white of the 1940s Sheena stories from Fiction House. Sherry Iger. So that's Sheena. I'm just showing you stuff that's already in the box, but what I need to do is not that. I need to show you, I need to put things into the box that aren't in it yet. Here's the Orville. This is the only copy I have of an Orville comic from Dark Horse. It's, this TV show is phenomenally great. I mean, it really is. People say it's like Star Trek The Next Generation. I never really watched Star Trek The Next Generation much. I watched the first 2 seasons, or first season and a half, and it didn't... I just somehow was too busy doing other things, and then people said, you should have kept watching because it got good in the 3rd season. But, you know, I had to wait till the 3rd season for it to get good. I didn't like that they had a little kid on the bridge. The characters... Their personalities didn't really grab me like the original crew of the real show. I didn't like that there was no violence, and that they didn't wear mini skirts, and they didn't have their hair piled up, and they didn't have the cool music from the original show. Because the original show was great science fiction, but it also had a pulp feeling. You know, there was violence. Did I mention that? In the Next Generation, it was all in there. They would go into a holodeck or some kind of virtual reality thing, and that's where all the action seemed like it took place. And then there seemed like all these plots that were just recycled from the real Star Trek. You know, like there was a character that appeared whose name was a letter, which we can't mention on YouTube. The same letter that was also used as the weapons guy in James Bond. And then there was that character with that name of that letter in Star Trek The Next Generation. And you can't mention that name on YouTube because it's now used by something we can't talk about. Even though that one came back 2-3 days, Friday night. Just for those of you that don't know. But anyway, so... I thought that character was a ripoff of the Squire of Gothos in the original show. You know, it turned out this villain is a little kid at the end, you know, that has to be disciplined. Anyway, so I kind of gave up on Next Generation. I've been told that the Orville is like the Next Generation, but to me it really feels like the real Star Trek in the 60s. It satisfies the audiences of both of those shows, and it's great, you know. So if you're watching this fake Star Trek that's on the Paramount Plus channel, you need to be tuning into the Orville. Now, I've watched the first season, and I'm a few episodes into the second season. I'm trying to, you know, my wife and I are in the middle of all these different shows. She's getting mad, man. She wants more food. Do you want more food? She's licking her lips. I think she needs another helping. Anyway, I recommend this movie. I don't know if I recommend this comic. It looks like the artwork's pretty shitty. It looks like art on the side of a van, personally. But I'll look inside it later and see what I think. Yeah, that's one of those comics I haven't read yet. But anyway, I know you may hate Seth MacFarlane from Family Guy and all that, but he's really hit it out of the park with the Orville. It really is fun to watch. It's fun. I feel like I'm in fourth grade again, or fourth grade, watching the real Star Trek. So that's my advice to you. Now, it's probably a bunch of people have unsubscribed because I said something about STTNG, Star Trek. I think I'm not going to ever call Star Trek OST, the original Star Trek or whatever. It's like, fuck. It's the only Star Trek. I mean, it doesn't have Kirk and Spock. And I better not turn this off again. Last episode, I accidentally turned the phone off. And then I wound up with a show that was very short, and that means no one will watch it. Because unless my shows are like 2 hours long, I get very few viewers. People, what is the actual time? Almost noon. I've got to take my wife to an appointment at 2 p.m. So I need to make sure that we're ready to go. Let's go feed her. I'm going to bring some board games up while I'm at it. Board games that you can play with my wife and I, with my wife and me. I'm using improper grammar. Yes, my wife and me. You can play these games with us when you come to Mount Crow 2 here in Wyoming. So, this is the life of Gratu Orloff. I used to conquer worlds, and I've done so much. Now I'm here, feeding a dog, listening to old radio jingles from the 1960s, organizing comic books. It seems like it never ends. All right. Chicken and liver recipe. Did I feed her I think it was in the last episode you saw me feed her. Oh, I should show you where my phone was lost. Okay, hold on. Come along with me, shall you? I dropped you on a pillow, don't worry. Alright, so she's been fed again. God damn it. Looks like they've picked up the recycling bin. So I need to roll it back over. Yeah, I'll show you. For 2 weeks, my phone was lost. And I couldn't find it, and I went everywhere in this house. And I couldn't do my show. So I went and found that I had an old YouTube account, and because I couldn't remember my password to get into this account for this channel, and an old account I really hadn't used since 2008, 2009, so I got my wife's tablet. She has and I tried to film an episode on her tablet, and I put it up on that channel during the time that my phone was lost, and so you might find it. If you're looking, it has a picture of kind of a Batgirl looking cartoon. But that's kind of the lost episode that only about 70 people have seen. I did that about a week ago. But anyway, I found my phone a few days ago, and so now I'm back. And see, I'm going down into the basement, the spook house, the arcade. And okay, so I'll show you where it was hidden so you'll see how astonishing. So down here is just a bunch of boxes, and this is where the cats live. And anyway, okay, so through this door, right, and this was piled up a lot higher right here, and then right back over here was the phone right there, and there was clothes piled up here. Okay, there's some clothes I need to get out of here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll take this laundry up. Because I've been wearing this shirt for the couple of days, man. All right. There's Pete the cat. How you doing, Pete the cat? Pete is hungry too. Whenever I come down, look at this. How you like these blood stains on the door? You like that? Look at these blood stains. There's blood stains all around here. You know, if you look for the blood stains, it's kind of cool. My wife says there's blood stains on the door to get down in the basement. I haven't seen them yet. We ought to look for those. Did I turn off the light? Yeah, shit, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm gradually putting up stuff. I think we're going to have a tiki bar in here. But that is yet to, right now it's just where the cats go to the bathroom. So, yes, indeed. I already checked the mail. Nothing of great importance. Yeah, let's see. Where is this blood? She says there's blood on this door. Let's see. I don't see any there. I don't see what she's talking about. All right. I'll have to have her show me where this so-called blood is. All right. Let's pick a shirt. Okay, yeah, because this shirt's starting to smell like roadkill. Oh, and here's the bat room. I haven't shown you this in a while. I put a new curtain up because it was letting some sunlight in, and I don't like sunlight coming into the bat room. As opposed to the bathroom, this is the bat room, where lots of Batman memorabilia is, but lots of other stuff too. Need to come in here with a dust brush. I put up this weirdo's mobile. This is just a work in progress. It's not going to stay this way, exactly this way. So, that's how you know it's the bat room. All right. I have to turn the lights out because we've been having high electricity bills, which is shocking because all the other prices are kind of coming down. With Biden's presidency, the gas prices are lower, and the supermarket, the food prices are going down. I don't know why the electricity bill is going up. It's kind of mystifying. I think it's the fault of that real bad Vladimir Putin guy. That's what I hear. You know, I've heard he's a really bad guy, and he makes gas prices go up. That oh shit, the video paused. This stupid shit happens. Video paused. Continue watching. I'm recording, and you have to hit yes or no. This is communism. Actually, it's YouTube fucking up my recording, is what it is. Because I'm recording with my DVD recorder. I've now recorded 4 hours and 22 minutes of radio jingles, and if I don't confirm that I'm still watching every hour, it stops because YouTube wants to make sure that that there's actually someone watching. It isn't just someone playing YouTube all day for their cat. They want to make sure you're actually there watching, so when they do pop on with a commercial, you'll see it. So they have to. I guess if I paid YouTube, then maybe that would be disabled, that function, but that's communism. Okay, I gotta find a place to put you guys down where so I can change my shirt. But we're gonna organize comic books here in a few minutes, I promise you. This room is equipped with Edison electric light. Do not attempt to light with match. Simply turn key on wall by the door. Use of electricity for lighting is in no way harmful to health, nor does it affect the soundness of sleep. Bless this house, O Lord, we pray. Make it safe by night and day. Baby Batman there. Okay. Let me set you down. Shit. All right. All right. That's what was holding you up there. Okay, well, almost tripped and killed myself. I don't know if you heard that calamity. So, therefore, I will move the object which almost tripped me, because if it almost trips my wife, I'm going to be in trouble. We'll take this object up, which is a CD carousel that I brought in to play CDs. Things are getting more and more gradually organized here in Mount Grotto, Pennsylvania, right outside of Pittsburgh. This is an Ultraman monster that was greeting you. Where shall I put him? Let's put him in the comic book room. This monster will guard the Marvel Tales comics. Let me take these Marvel Tales in the other room. All right. Well, we're back. Shit. So how have you guys been doing? It's a wonderful Monday evening, June 27th, 28th, something like that, 2022 AD. Yeah, it's a great day, man. Pretty great day, man. Whoa, what a great day. You guys should go on Rumble. Find Rumble, rumble.com, right? Maybe I should put my show on Rumble. I thought about it. Anyway, go on Rumble and listen to a lady named Mel K. M-E-L and then K. And also listen to the X22 Report. X22 Report. Listen to those shows. I highly recommend them. They're very entertaining and enlightening. Don't ask me what X22 even means. I suppose, I don't know if it's a reference to, I think there's a little girl Wolverine called X23. I don't know if it has anything to do with that at all. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to put all my Spider-Man comics under S. I don't care if it's Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man. I don't have many Web of Spider-Mans, but they're all going under S. I don't give a shit. I start with the Amazing Spider-Man, which was the real one, and you know, because it's too confusing, you know. Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Do you put it under P? You put it under S, P. It just all goes under Spider-Man. And the complicated one, and you'll find this confusing for many comic book stores, is where do you put the Luke Cage comics? You know, the comic was originally called Hero for Hire. Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, but the actual title was Hero for Hire. So, you know, if you look it up on mycomicshop.com, it's under H, because that's what they did. And then it became Luke Cage Power Man. Then it became Power Man and Iron Fist. It just kept changing its name. Okay. They should have had him wear this outfit in that shitty Morbius movie. Yeah, oh well. Someday they'll learn, right? Yeah, Marvel Tales 180, 181, 81. This is this reprints that anti-drug story that what? Interesting. When they reprinted it, it still didn't have the comics code. Anyway, basically Stan Lee had this story where I don't know, because here 192 doesn't have the comics code, but here 206 has the comics code. So anyway, you know the story. I don't need to tell you the story of how of those. You already know everything, man. It says that people that watch my show are mostly 54 to 65. You know everything I know. I'm not going to tell you anything. Stop licking my comic books, Drew. Goddamn fiend. Alright, so that's that. Here's another copy of the Glow-in-the-Dark Radioactive Man. It really glows. I mean, I showed you about a year ago. I held it up to a light and then I turned off the lights and it really did glow. But I'm not going to do it again because I don't have time for that shit. Okay. The dog is not really thrilled with what I'm doing. Here's one of these modern Red Sonja comics, which is from Dynamite, which is a TNA comic label that puts out lots of different variant covers. And why... Shit. The dog is going to destroy everything, man. No, man. Don't do it. Okay. I'm just going to file this under SI for Simpsons, because that's what it is. No, you... I don't think she's going to let me do this. She is on fire. Sheena, okay, here we go. Simpsons. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Okay, stop. How dare you? She wants to lick the comic books, man. That's un-American. Drew. The whole floor is covered in Monopoly money because an old Monopoly game broke open. Drew, you're not supposed to eat comic books. Luckily, you don't eat them, but you're trying to lick them, and that's un-American, man. I've seen pictures of Vladimir Putin licking comic books, but dogs should not do that, man. Right, dog? Doggy? She insists that comic books are food. I think that perhaps that this might be folly right now. I should be doing this while she's sleeping. All right. Besides, I got a lot of shit I gotta do here, man. I got shit to do. I got lots of shit to do, man. Lots of shit to do. Didn't they call the Jerry Seinfeld show a show about nothing? We're the new show about nothing. I hung this picture in the last episode, or it might have been this episode. I have no idea. Isn't that fascinating? Here's the picture of my brother. I'm going to hang it up. I haven't heard from my brother in a few years. I don't know. That's a sad thing. I'll turn off these lights. Okay, it's 12:05 at night. It's in the evening. Oh, I know what I gotta do. There was some Marvel comics mixed with the Harvey. I gotta pull those out. I'll show them to you in the other room where I can sit in a chair. Whoa! The dog is under my feet. I could show you them in a chair where the dog will not be able to lick them. So let's come on in to Comic Book Central. So we're back to the comic book room here in Mount Gratu, Colorado. There's a nice Batman angle. Let's get some lighting. Okay. Here's Real Screen Comics number 39. How about that? It's in great condition. I think I might send that off to CGC. Here's number 65. How about that one? Was that 65? What? Sure was. This is 64, so it's out of order. Unacceptable, man. Here's 67. These are all out of order, man. That's very disappointing. Here's 60. So comic books were 10 cents until 1961. The Comics Code Authority came around in 1955. So you know this comic is between 1955 and 61 without even opening it. So some people consider that era the Golden Age. Some people call it the Atom Age, the Atomic Age, because it's really kind of a, well, I don't know. The Golden Age, when I think of the Golden Age, I think of the beginning of everything, and the World War II, and the Justice Society, and Timely Comics, and Captain Marvel. But when the industry switched over to mostly crime and horror, and the superheroes were left behind in the early 50s, late 40s, early 50s, and then that period, I think maybe some people call it the Uranium Age, I think. I don't know. Or the Atomic Age, I don't know. But then, obviously, the Silver Age starts with the first modern Flash comic. Here's 59. And here's a really shitty looking comic that's apparently a spinoff of TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is from Archie. It's Mighty Mutantimals. I don't know if this was ever a toy line. Someone's trying to recapture that lightning that happened when they created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, here's the Okay. The early issues of Marvel Collector's Item Classics must be in the other room. This is number 16. Here's another one of 16. Low battery. 20% remaining. That's shocking. Yeah, I apparently have 2 copies. This one's in better shape. Reprints of the early Fantastic Four. Music. Here's 17. Where's the music? Come on, man. Come on, man. 17. I hope that's not copywritten music. That might be. Let's get back to the rinks. Marvel Collector's Item Classics, number 18. Number 19. You son of a bitch. I'm not talking to the dog, I'm talking to myself. Here's number 20. Here's 21. These are fun to read. And they're affordable. It also has Iron Man and Doctor Strange reprints in it. I always get this, you're not going to be able to, most of you aren't going to be able to afford the actual real comics from this time period. So, and this is actually from the 1960s, so it's still a Silver Age comic. It still has the feel of comic from that era, so they're well worth getting. I'll show you what I mean. This is a beat up copy, but you got your Doctor Strange reprints. Here's Iron Man, but it still feels like you're reading an original comic because this was not printed that long after the original. The Origin of the Mandarin. What is the dog? What are you up to, Drew? Don't look at these comics, man. No, man. Okay, and so you've got your Fantastic Four story. All right. No, Drew, leave those books alone. I gotta get this dog downstairs, man. All right, let's go get some more of these. It was called Marvel Collector's Item Classics, but then it became Marvel's Greatest Comics at some point. Like, Drew, you gotta move. I can't get through, man. You gotta move your... The dog is blocking my way out. Drew, move. On delay. Okay, now she's moving. Okay. I got stuff to do, man. All right. Show you some more before this phone passes away, man. Before it expires. Before it gives up the ghost. Here's where it becomes Marvel's Greatest Comics with 24. Yeah. 25. Shit. These were buried in a bunch of Harvey comics, so I'm trying to get them into the proper boxes. That's 26. Right, Drew? That's right. Here's another copy of 26. Isn't that fascinating? I gotta move quick. Here's 27. Here's 27. 2 copies. Isn't that amazing? Who cares? Okay, 28, 28, 29. An affordable way to read this whole thing matchup. Another copy. You never have too many. Here's 30. Am I missing 31? It would appear so. It would appear to be the case. So I need to get Marvel's Greatest Comics 31. Here's 33. Oh, look, a key issue. This is Marvel Superheroes. Isn't that cool? It's a key issue. It's Captain Marvel number 12. Marvel Superheroes 14. Let's go get some more. So I gotta get Marvel's Greatest Comics 31, unless it's in another box. I gotta look it up online and see what it looks like. Then I'll remember if I've got it or not. Right, Drew?
That is correct.
Why you little mother wanted. We've got a president that likes to sniff little. Isn't that something? That's what Obama used to say. Isn't that something, folks? Isn't that something? I got a vice president that likes to sniff little. Yes, indeed. Let's go, Brandon. Here's Marvel Superheroes number 14. But we don't talk about politics here. Here's Marvel Superheroes number 15. How about that one? It's Medusa. Great cover. Here's the Phantom Eagle. Marvel's attempt to do Enemy Ace. Here's the Black Knight, which everyone thought was going to be a big deal, and everyone speculated on the Black Knight because he's going to be in the Eternals, and then nobody cared. Oh, here's the first Guardians of the Galaxy. How about that one? Someone wrote 10 on it. I guess they sold it for 10 cents at a garage sale at some point. Here's number 19 with Kazar, whatever. Here's 22. What? 19 to... That means I'm missing 20 and 21. I need to look this up. That could be. 23. How about that? 24. They're reprinting Daredevil by this point. Here is 25. Someone drew a mustache on the Submariner. Some Philistine. 23, 24. Here's old 26, man. Here's 28. Another copy of 28. See, so for a while it stopped doing reprints and had new stories, but at this point it's an Iron Man and Daredevil reprint thing. So that's 29. Here's 31. Well, what time is it, man? I had a clock in here. I took it out. It's time to get some electricity into this phone. All right, so are all the lights turned off? Because if my wife comes down and there's electricity, there's lights. Oh, that light's going. She will say, why are you leaving the lights going? The electricity bill is so high. And I say, hey, the electricity bill, it's not high. Imagine how high it would have been if Biden hadn't been elected. That would have been a high bill. Biden's been fighting to keep the gas prices down. It's that Putin guy, man. He's the problem, not Biden. It's Putin. And Putin's the reason all these comics aren't organized, man. It's that fucking guy. Pooty poop. All right. Putin. What a terrible guy. He's an existential threat to our democracy. Wait, I thought it was a republic. No, it's a democracy. Putin. Putin's even worse than Ming the Merciless. Oh, well. All right, Drew hates Putin, man. Putin comes around, Drew's going to bite him, man, because Putin's just a bad man. We'll see how the history books ultimately are written. Wouldn't it be a weird Twilight Zone episode if it turns out that what? It's like some cartoon. This guy, these German soldiers are looking at their hats, their caps. It's going, hey, we got a skull and crossbones on our cap. What if we're the bad guys? You ever thought about that? It isn't possible that Putin could be the good guy. I don't think so, because he's an existential threat. I heard it on CNN. Oh, shit. Biden seems like a good guy, man. He does a good job sniffing. Yeah, man. All right. All right, the phone's plugged in again. But what time is it? 12:30? I better go make sure my wife is getting ready for this existential appointment. This date with destiny with Putin. Yeah, we're going to have lunch at the Dairy Suite with Vladimir Putin. The evil autocrat, the evil dictator. Dairy Suite has been there since the 50s. It's kind of like a bootleg Dairy Queen. And Vladimir Putin flies in from Moscow several times a week to eat at the Dairy Suite. And sometimes we'll meet him there and talk about geopolitical politics. Yeah, well, and sometimes Ming the Merciless shows up from the planet Mongo with, last week he stayed in our guest bedroom, Ming the Merciless. Then he had to leave back to planet Mongo. Indeed. All right. It's also existential, man. It's hard to believe. All right. All right, I got stuff to do, man. So you guys are gonna need to, vamoose, get the fuck out of here. Don't let the door hit you in the ass, motherfuckers. I'll show you out. Okay, you gotta leave, man, because I got stuff to do. All right. All right, come on. Come on. Mom's cool. Get out.